Well, what's not a unicorn is Ovi scoring, and he did it again at another big game, another milestone goal for him. I don't know if it was 20th, whatever it is for the season. I think he's leading the NHL. At least he was as a day or two ago, and it is just remarkable. I'm not asking you to comment on how remarkable it is, but he's 32, coach. Last year, not maybe a down year. I don't know. Not enough even strength goals. I think McClellan said we just need more from Ovi, and I'm thinking, well, come on. At some point, there's going to be an acquiescence here to age, and this is going to slow down, and it just kind of continues. What's been the difference for you? Last week, we talked to you about switching him up and putting him back with Backy, and there's had great results there. But what overall has been the biggest difference for you this year and last year with Ovi?
Well, I think what happens with players, Ovi is a player that has a lot of pride, and I think there's a lot of people that were doubting his ability. And when you do that to players that have pride and have been great players in this league, I think on with the talent. You look at what happened right out of the gate. What did Ovi do? He went out and scored 10 goals in the first 4 games.
Right.
And I think those players want to respond if they still have the ability, and obviously he still has the ability to do that. So I think he was making a point to everybody that hey, I'm not done yet. I'm going to show you. And when he gets determined like that, it's just like anytime there's a milestone game for Ovi, he's got an extra step. He is determined to knock that milestone off and go on to the next one. So you saw that with the last year or the year before with the 500 goals in the league. He went on a tear. He said, "I'm going to get the 500th, and I'm going to get 501." And he just went out and did it basically, and got 2 goals in like 4 shifts. And he has that ability, and he still has that ability. So good on him. I thought he had a lot of jump the last few games, and when he has jump, he has a tremendous impact on the success of our hockey team.
Yeah, I mean, it's just remarkable. And, this, been around the game your whole life. We've had stats guys on before, and they talk about how, they peak, I don't know what it is at the NHL level. Usually the great goal scorers maybe at 27, 28, something like that. So they've been predicting his demise for years, and he just keeps producing. I just don't think, honestly, as great as he is, and he's first ballot Hall of Famer and everyone knows it, I don't think he's appreciated enough, frankly.
Well, I think he's come into he came in, and I think him and Sid virtually NHL. I think in a lot of ways they became the faces of the franchise. Obviously, Sid's had more success in terms of winning postseason and even internationally, and I think that's where always had to take a little bit of a back seat. So, but yeah, I think in what he does what it's the hardest to do in the National Hockey League. It's getting a little bit easier now in the National Hockey League with the number of young guys in the league and what have you. There's probably a few more mistakes, a little more wide open. Plus the change in players. I think the change in players, and what I mean by that is the style of defenseman. Everybody used to have one Paul Coffey or one offensive defenseman in their lineup. Now teams got 3 and 4, and that helps the offense. But what Ovi does is score goals, and that's the hardest thing to do in the National Hockey League. And until his shot, leaves him, I think he's always going to be dangerous. And if he's skating, to me that's it's double jeopardy with Ovi. When he's skating, because he's such a big, strong man, and the way he shoots the puck, he's going to score goals. And when he's not, he's still going to score some goals, but not as many.
Coach Trotz, going back to the unicorn topic, I didn't even realize this until the commentators pointed it out. When Ovi scored his goal, it was a backhander. You just don't see that many of those from him because he has that great shot that he relies on that you were just touching on. That you don't see backhand goals from Ovi very much, but the defender took his primary shot away from him, and he just lifts it past the goalie with the backhand. It was impressive.
Yeah, it was. And if you ever picked up Ovi's stick to go to the end, not the easiest thing. So his, eye-hand coordination and his ability to recognize what's open on a goaltender. I mean, you look at Ovi. Ovi when he looks at a goaltender, I'm sure he just sees net because, and the goaltender's just a blur. For the rest of or most of the league, you see the goaltender and the net's the blur. I think that's the difference. He looks beyond the goalie. He looks where he can put pucks. I think that's what makes him a great goal scorer.